Okay, so let's make this program functional now and get the JavaScript going. So we're loading our JavaScript here, main.js, title, so user login assignment by Mr. V. And first things first, as usual, event listener, so document.get element by ID, login btn maybe? I'll double check. When I click it, I want to test login. So that's going to be my event function test login, like so. Okay, let's just double check login-btn, good. So we'll just go console.log login question mark and go here to make sure that works, and we've got a problem. Awesome. Main.js line 4 cannot read property add event listener of null. Okay, so that just means that it's trying to add an event listener to something that doesn't exist. So line 4, oh, because I just spelled it wrong. Login btn, right? So it's like it couldn't find an element with logi btn, so it can't add an event listener to it. This should fix it, and now, yay, login. Okay, so again, input, process, output. I'm going to get the inputs, I'm going to process by testing them with an if statement, and I'm going to output the result based on what the input is, right? Depending on what the input is. So let's start by getting the input. So let username be assigned document.get element by ID, username dot value. What in the world did I just do? I selected this element, this input element with the ID username, and I asked for its value. And I'm going to get its value and store it in this variable. And I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and we'll do the same thing for password. So this username and password should now store, and let's test it just to make sure, username, comma, password. Yay! Okay, so I'm getting these values. Away we go. Now what? Okay, now what I need to do is test the input. So I'm going to do an if statement. And basically for them to log in, I need two things to be true. I'm going to decide that, so imagine this is a login for like the administrator portion of a website or something like that. And there's only one username or password that will allow them access to the administrator portion. So maybe the username is going to be admin and the login's 1234. Great security, I know. But I'm going to test, hey, if username is equal to admin, and remember we can do those logical operators, right? I can make more complex Boolean expressions that evaluate to true or false, depending on using these logical operators. So if this is true, right, if username is equivalent to admin, we can do a triple equal sign actually too. That's a strict equality. It has to have the same value and be the same type. And password equals 1234. The string 1234, not the number. Because this value always returns a string unless I convert it to a number with that plus sign. Okay, so if username equals this and password equals this, I just want to say login successful. So I've got the message right there. So document.get element by ID message dot inner HTML is assigned login successful. And then I'm just going to simply do an else. Right? Do this binary if statement. If this is true, do this. Otherwise, it wasn't the correct username. So I'm going to copy and paste this and login unsuccessful. Okay. And, you know, this is a small enough program. I could potentially, like, store this in a variable like I did in one of the previous assignments, but, you know, it's a small enough program, I'm not going to bother. Let's see if this works. So if I enter whatever, it says login unsuccessful, but if I enter admin 1234, login successful. If I did something like that, unsuccessful, cool. Oh, and if I go here, there's actually a password type, which is kind of cool. And then when I type my password, it hides it. Login successful. Okay, anyway, and then the advanced version of this assignment involved you doing a more complex if statement where you'd have to test, hey, which is wrong, right? Is their username wrong? If their username is wrong, then don't even bother with the password. But if their username is correct, then you have to check their password. So you might have to do maybe nested if statements within other if statements, or a more complex if statement for the advanced version. But this is just the basic one. Get some input, use a binary success or not success, and then this test for these two things, if this is true and this is true. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.